And you know, I tend to agree with Peter Credlin, of course, who said multiple times, look, the issues that women care about are fundamentally the same issues that men care about, because we're all living in the same world and we have the same households and the same families. So we all see the same things. And there's probably an argument to be made, and you know, all the people out there, don't come for me for saying it, because it is true. I'm not saying that it should be otherwise or whatever, but the reality is that women still do perform a lot more of the household duties than men do. And so you could make the argument that things like cost of living, women would be even more acutely aware of, because they're looking at those numbers every day. Anyway, if I can work it out or anyone else can work it out, we'll see where we go. Now, Cameron, you're in the UK right now. You've written in the Nightly today that the UK Labor Party is a warning for Australia's Labor Party and also a ray of hope for the Liberals. Why is that?
Well, Keir Starmer and Anthony Albanese both scored about 2/3 of the parliament in the most recent elections. It's 10 months on. Starmer, though, is panicking. He's soiling the sheets of government, I wrote in my column today, because Reform won a by-election and won about 650 seats out of 1,600 in local councils. So Reform, Nigel Farage's party from the right, has taken Labor vote and taken Conservative vote and built themselves as a second force against Labor. There are people in Labor now talking about not being in government for 2 or 3 terms. They're talking about losing in 4 years' time, because red wall Labor seats are going to Reform, and Keir Starmer is seen as someone who's weak and not up to it. That sounds familiar probably to a lot of viewers with Albanese as well. So the lesson for Labor isn't how many seats you won only 2 weeks ago. It's what voters think of you on a daily basis. If you lose the trust of voters, you're going to lose the next election.
Quite right. Now, the super tax, newly minted Assistant Treasurer Daniel Molino has been trying to sell the policy. He says that it doesn't affect that many people.
Well, I think at the heart of it, we're talking about accounts that have gone above a certain threshold, very, very large accounts, a very small slither of accounts. And so I think what we really here is whether or not those accounts should receive full concessional treatment or slightly less concessional treatment.
And Deputy PM Richard Marles has even gone as far as to call criticism of the policy a smear campaign.
It was taken to the Australian people within the last month. So, I mean, what we've seen here is the Liberals, in a desperate attempt to find something to talk about, run a smear campaign in relation to this. But fundamentally, this is a policy which has been out in the open for a long period of time.
Oh, a desperate smear campaign. The reality is it's not indexed. They could index it if they wanted to, but they're not going to index it. So the $3 million, as we know, a 22-year-old today on an average wage, if they're on an average wage for the rest of their life, Lisa, will have $3 million in their super by the time they are 64. If it was really about being fair, you'd index it. You can't call it a smear campaign.
No, and the way they're getting through with this messaging is to put an us and them. So don't worry about it. It's just the rich end of town. It's the top end of town. Average Aussies don't need to worry about it. The smear campaign should have come from the Liberal Party during the election campaign. That's when they should have made this front and centre and explained to the younger voters who they're trying to win over, this is how this will impact you. As you put your money into super now, by the time you retire, this is how this will impact you. But they didn't do it. They didn't play the long game and explain it to the younger voters that they need to win across. And so right now, Miles can stand there and say, well, you know, you're throwing mud, but really there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Cameron, very quickly.
Oh, look, I agree with Lisa entirely. This is the scare campaign the Liberal Party missed. This was Labor's big new tax on savings, and it should have been a huge scare campaign. And for the Corio kneecapper to be crying foul, I mean, goodness me. I mean, this guy's finishing off his ministerial mates, so he's playing it pretty hard anyway. But no, this is a Liberal scare campaign that should have been in the election, and Lisa's absolutely right.
Lisa, Cameron, thank you for your time.